We are at the bifurcation point, as the Nobel Prize Ilya Prigozhin says. Now we have to or to act as one or to collapse. How is your vision? How can we create a critical mass? How can we go through that?
Okay. Well, my feelings about this question are that I see this very differently, because many people have said and continue to say that things are getting worse and we're on the brink of disaster. But you know, there are more experts beginning to say that in fact they are awakening us to the good news that in fact human beings have never had it this good. And so what that means is there has never been less violence in the world, right? There's less war, there's less conflict, there's less killing, there's less murder, there's less death, there's less violent conflict for human beings in the world now, in spite of the fact that the population is somewhere between 7 or 8 billion people. It's the MIT professor Steven Pinker just published an extraordinary book called The Better Angels of Our Nature. And in it he describes in exhaustive detail how the level of violence of man on man has never been this small ever in human history, in spite of the fact that there's more and more people in the world than there's ever been. So violence has been reduced. The standard of living, right, access to water, to food, running water, food, toilets, education, political freedom, personal freedom. There has never been so many people in the world that have had and have experienced such a high standard of living, level of education, and personal and political freedom in human history. And on top of that, in terms of the development, our technological development at the moment right now is developing exponentially. And I just in a book I just read, there was there was a sentence that said a Maasai warrior in Africa with a cell phone has communication power that I think only like 15 or 20 years ago, that infinitely transcended the communication power of an American president like 20 years ago. So I now am changing my tune, because I refuse to believe all the preachers of gloom and doom, because I know that we're facing enormous challenges. Right? We are facing enormous challenges, and there are enormous threats to our global health and global survival. I'm not naive, I'm aware of that. But I think that we need to temper our fears and concern about the imminent dangers that exist with the very rational recognition and observation that as bad as things are, things have never been this good, ever, in all of human history. And I think recognizing that will empower us in a very positive way to believe in our capacity to get through, to face the challenges that we're facing, and even maybe triumph as a global species in ways in which many people just don't think is possible. And I think, and in this way of looking at our predicament, we can gain a kind of self-confidence in, as Steven Pinker said, the better angels of our nature, instead of constantly thinking that we're destroying ourselves and we're, and there's no way to stop it.